3, 2, 1.
Hey, good morning, folks. Here I am again. Angel Arrow is the name, and I'm here again with Tank Mechanic Simulator. I can give you some news about the development of the game, which will come later. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what's going wrong with my game because I don't have sound. I have no sound. I'm walking around and I'm having no sound at all. Weird. Or do I have sound? I have no sound. Audio. I lowered the specs earlier. That is probably it. Ah! I have sounds again! Woo! Alright, folks, here I am. I'm streaming straight up on the Steam store page of the game. And I'm streaming straight up, of course, on my own YouTube channel. I finally figured it out to stream simultaneously on Steam and YouTube. All the other streaming platforms is easy to do, but with Steam in play, it's all a bit more figuring out how and setting things up. But for now, stream is running on YouTube and on Steam. So for those who are interested in my YouTube channel, just a second, I'm going to make it a little bit easier. Text, add, new, YouTube, add, and the text is https arrow. You're at www.youtube.com/arrowsrealm. It's all not that difficult, of course. Is it HTTPS? No. What am I saying? What am I doing? What am I doing? HTTPS. Oh my goodness, I'm not awake yet. Oh my god. Paste. youtube.com/arrowsrealm. There we go. Now we're going to put that in. Just plain white, probably. White, yellow, red. YouTube red. That's going to be unreadable, isn't it? Yeah. Yellow. E. There it is. We're going to put that somewhere at the bottom. Oop, a little bit smaller. Smaller, I said. God damn it. There we go. And put it underneath my Ko-fi. Hoppa! There you go. Alright. For more videos and streams, yep, that's the one. Alrighty, back to the game. The only thing now, I don't see how many people I have on Steam. Apparently. I don't know why. Oh, 22, is that correct? Huh? Oh, okay. And now I see 22. Okay. It doesn't matter. So, folks, here we are, Tank Mechanic Simulator. Maybe I should start with the good news, but everybody can read it on the Steam page, of course. one thing that is very, very, very loved is the fact that I've read that they are going to expand the museum. We are going to be able to add another 4 tanks to the museum. So now we can add 8 tanks to the museum, and the developers made it so, or are going to make it so, that we can put 12 tanks in the museum. So I think they are going to use this open space here. We can easily put 2 tanks here, and 1 tank here, and 1 tank here. I think they are going to do something like that. But even then we can... We could be able to put more tanks inside, but now they are well displayed. You can go around them, you can walk around the tank, see everything properly. But if you compare to pictures you see from the Bovington Museum, well, there they have hangars with tanks, where the tanks are just all parked nicely next to each other, and there is not a lot of walking around the tanks, and there's not a lot of space around the tanks. All the tanks are packed on each other. Now, that is what the developers here didn't want to do, but I do agree that only 8 tanks in a museum is not a lot. Absolutely not. Plus, if you look from above, and you see the buildings from the museum, your office, your workshop and everything, there is a whole big parking lot next to the museum which is not used yet. So I wonder what the developers are going to do with that. Okay, back. Workshop. Or let me maybe first put the information about the game. Where are we? Oh yeah, it's over there, of course. Where is my Steam? Steam. Here is Steam. Store page. Actually, I didn't have to go to the store page, did I? Store page, latest news. Here we go. Development status 82. I'm going to pop it up in a bit. There you go. Dear mechanics, welcome to our 82nd development status update. The work on suggestions and new features must continue, therefore we would like to keep you updated with what is currently being implemented. So right now, as we speak, the developers are really working hard on new content and a lot of bug fixes. From now on, the new update patch can take us a bit more than 1 week. We already said with quite some people that the developers don't have to rush. Indeed, there was a certain time where they promised us to come with an update every week. Well, I would rather have them to say that they will only come with an update when an update is ready to go. Maybe once a month, but even that they don't have to promise. I don't think a developer has to promise or give us constantly ETAs, estimated time of arrivals. Just for the fact, if an update is not completely ready and then they did promise us a date and then they push that update, even for the unstable version, then there is going to come criticism that the game is full of bugs. I would just say, developers, take your time and give us an update when an update is ready to go, period. Okay, features in update 1.1.0 that we are implementing or are implemented already. Let's have a look. The museum level 3, 4 more slots, total of 12 tanks. Like I said earlier, for now we can add 8 tanks to the museum, which is not enough. Certainly not enough. Even 12 is not enough. But hey, we are making a huge leap forward, and we are going from 8 to 12. So 4 more tanks. The Steam Workshop Support Part 1. This is a bigger task and we will take us more than 1 or 2 patches to complete. Once again, developers, take your time. Just take your time. I know for a fact that they are working on a program in which we can easily, which we can use to easily upload our made mods to the Steam Workshop. This is a screenshot of that program. I'm involved on that page as well. Let me have a look. We have the Generals Testing Group, of which I'm a part of, and I think that is the start to work with that uploading of mods. A workshop tab is going to be added here. Normally I have a workshop added already, but okay. Back to Steam. But they are working on their own program, which would make it much easier for us, or for the modders, I mean, to upload their mods to the workshop, so that everything that is put on the workshop is just a one-click compatibility for the users. One click on a button and they download and they install the mod in their game automatically. You probably all know how the workshop of Steam works. Alrighty, they are saying Tank Mechanic Simulator Steam Workshop uploaded.execute layout can and will probably change, but this is just to give you an idea of what they are working on. The final patch notes will be available when the patch gets uploaded. Estimated 1 or 2 weeks. Once again, just take your time and deliver a patch that is 100% okay. The patch will be published first on the unstable branch, like always, to check if certain crashes are gone, including the standing painting crash. Me for once, I don't have that issue, but I've read on the official Discord that a lot of people indeed are having issues with the sanding and the painting. The moment they start sanding, the moment they start painting, their game crashes. I don't have that issue. I don't have most of the issues that people are talking of, so I'm probably blessed, I don't know. And the missing images bug. This is also a bug, like in the store and on the workbench or the crafting bench. You see the images of all the parts and all of a sudden those images disappear. I don't have that until now, at least. Also, the developers are working on more detailed engines. That is something that is asked from within the community, and here is already a screenshot of what they are working on. Here's a bonus of a new engine module for our new tank. So they are going to implement a new tank. If somebody from this picture can say which new tank is going to get implemented, please let us know. More detailed engine model getting implemented, work in progress, they say. Of course, this engine is not finished, but you can see that only this, it's half an engine. Only this is already way more detailed than the engines that are in-game right now. So, really, take my hats off, developers, well done, keep on going, and once again, deliver us something when it's done. We are not waiting for extra bugs because things get rushed. Just take your time. So this was the 80-second development status. Short but well explained what's going to happen. So I remember that museum from level 3 to level 4. Excellent. The Steam Workshop Support Part 1. Also control support with controls presets. Controller support with control presets. Oh, so they are going to implement controlling support with what do they mean? Controller support with control presets. So there is going to be controller support, and they are going to add certain presets to the game. It's not going to be able to change to change the controls on your controller, but they will add certain presets. Then simple tank control toggle that allows to drive the tank forward backward with one key press instead of the stepwise system. That is already implemented in the unstable branch. Some people apparently asked to change that. I for once don't like that simple tank control thing. I mean, there are different gears in a tank. Most tanks in this game is gear 1, 2, 3, 4. You press one time forward, you release it, you keep on driving in first gear. You press a second time, you keep driving in second gear, and so on. Thank you, dearie. But people ask to simplify that, just that when they press forward, and only when they press forward and keep it pressed in, that their tank is driving forward. Same for backward, left and right. So the developers listened to that, they implemented that, and you can toggle that on and off in the settings. But that I already showed you in a previous stream. Further standardization, they forgot a D here. Adding screws, checking the config is correct, blah blah blah. More detailed engines, which we already talked about. And this is also a nice addition, a shop cart. I don't know what they mean with this. Shop cart. So that means that everything you select is in a cart, and you can go to the different panels like engine, hull, turret, and just select everything, put it in the cart, and then you can go to the cart page, overlook everything, and then buy everything. Right now you can only select things on one tab. Like if you're in the engine tab, you can only select parts from the engine. But if you switch tabs, you didn't buy anything. The things you selected are gone, so you have to go back to the engine tab and select them again. And that would be solved by adding a shop cart to the game. So I think that is the feature they are talking about here. Another nice addition which they are not talking about yet, but they know that it's already asked a lot of times, is a shop list. Giving us the ability when we are going around the tank and we are looking for missing parts and we want to order them, we want to put them on a list first. Just clicking on them, so that they come on a list, and when you are in the shop or you are at the crafting bench, you can pop up that list so you can see, oh yeah, that part, and that part I need, so that you don't have to walk back and forth from the tank to the bench or to the store. So this about development status 82, some nice things to look forward to. I'm personally looking forward to more tanks in the museum, and the shop cart is a nice one. And yeah, the workshop is only part 1, but I am looking forward to that as well. So we can all modders can upload their mods easily to the workshop. Alright, back to the game then. What are we going to do today? I have no idea. I have lack of space. That's why that stupid Wolverine is always standing here. I don't know what we have here. It's a Sherman. We have a Sherman here. I don't even know if it's... Let's see. Is it an order or not? No, a Panzerkampf 3 SVJ is an order. So let's look for that one. He's standing there. I am working. It was a bit quiet for me the last week, 2 weeks for Tank Mechanic Simulator because I found another game which I really like, and I already put some hours in that. I will have to make an agenda, and that day I stream that day I stream that. What I wanted to say, I am working on a package, Girls in Panzer. I already have the flags, Girls in Panzer. In the museum, there are a couple of stands which are already Girls in Panzer. But I am going to release it only when I'm completely done. I'm working on the posters, I'm working on all different museum stands, but that is a lot. The developers didn't put that in their customization PDF, which is in the game files. The tutorial to make decals and flags, but for the museum stands, they are not saying anything, but you can change them yourself. I will make a tutorial myself, which I will upload on my YouTube channel. But I am working on a Girls in Panzer package, and I'm going to release that as a complete package. Not like I did previously, the decals in a decals package, the flags in a flags package. No, I'm going to create one Girls in Panzer package. Which will also contain decals, and even decals which will show grenade impacts on tanks, etc., etc. But that is in progress, work in progress. Alright, let's see. Remember that we have some new things as well, or at least in the unstable version. When we press O, we go immediately to the store panel. When we press P, we go to the tank analysis screen, which is very nice that they implemented that. Tank overall repairs, I'm at 12%, and we need, let's have a look at the order again. We need a 72%, which is quite high, 72% repair. Probably that is going to be done easily by derusting the thing. Let's derust the tank. We are going to try to derust as much as possible ourselves. This tank I'm going to do the fast way. So in a previous stream I already showed how you can quickly repair a tank and how you can take it a whole day, 5 hours, to repair a tank completely, to restore a tank completely. This one I'm going to do the fast way, so I'm not going to disassemble the whole tank. I'm just going to try to derust, sand, put a primer on, put paint on, without taking the tank completely apart. The only things that I will have to take apart are the replaceable only parts. You will see that in a bit. The viewports, the hatches. That is replaceable only. Just double checking. Did you know that you can even take... Oh, we don't have one here. Haha. We don't have one here. Here we have a light. You can pick up the light. and you can toggle it on. Oh, pick up the light. Toggle it on. You can check underneath the tank. Do you guys use that? I use that a lot. Mostly when I'm done with the tank, I like to double check underneath the tank if I didn't forget anything. But the lamp is only put here. Maybe we could suggest to put a second lamp here at this pit. But it is doable with only one lamp because there is only one mechanic in the shop anyway, so it's not like somebody else is going to use the lamp and you need a second one to be able to use it at the same time. This is replaceable only. I think most things on the outside are de-rusted. Let's go to the inside of the tank. And there are some parts here which still needs to get de-rusted. This is replaceable only. Let's change positions. The gunner. If you change positions inside the tank, then you will be able to check more detailed your surroundings. This is replaceable only. That is replaceable only. So guys, if you have any questions about the game, don't hesitate to ask them. I will try to answer everything as good as possible. Those are the replaceables only. So thing now is I first need to get out of the tank, then I need to, oh no, my mistake, my bad. Let's go inside again. My bad. I just need to ditch my tool. And now I can take these replaceable onlys. That is too far. Are there other replaceable onlys here? Nope. And change to the this side. And change to commander slot. Why can't I? Oh, yeah. I get it. I can only. That is actually pretty lame. So I can only take this locker out of the turret because I'm standing in at the commander's position now. So I'm standing in the turret, and I can only dismantle things out of the turret when the turret is standing on the turret stand. So I do have to take the turret off the tank, which we are going to do. Put the turret on the turret stand. Stand 2. Now the turret is over there. And now we can take this locker off. Up. Everything is sanded now, I think. We still have these parts which are only replaceable. Alright, before we start sanding, let's go to the storage. Let's select everything here. And let's outsource these parts. Okay, something is going wrong here, as you can see. So for the, I have to write things down. We are working on the Panzer Kampfwagen 3 aus J outsource all the same cost. So there are still a couple of tanks which all have the same cost for whatever you ask them to do. You can ask to outsource the parts, and you can ask the company you outsource to only sand the parts, which will cost 103 bucks. You can ask them to not only sand, but also put a primer on. So that is sanding and primering. But here it's the same price. That is not correct. They have to do more, so it has to be more expensive. And then you can ask them to fully restore the parts. So derusting, sanding, putting a primer coat on, and putting paint on. But here it costs the same, which is not logic. But okay, continue. These parts are getting repaired, and in the meanwhile we are going to sand the tank. Like I said, I'm going to do this tank the fast way, so I'm not taking the tank apart. I'm just trying to do as much as possible without taking any parts of the tank. Are we going to miss certain parts in the end? Probably yes. But it's an order. It's not a restoration for ourselves. And the order asks us to return the tank in a 72% stage repair. So we don't have to fully repair the tank. Some people think that they have to fully repair tanks 100% every time. That is not true. You just have to look at what the order says, and in this case the order says that they want the tank 72% repaired and not completely. Of course, I admit that doesn't seem right, does it? You can then just give back a half restored tank, but it is what it is. And it's also not like you are going to earn more if you do repair the tank to 100%. That is something the developers could work on, the economy system in the game. So you have an order, and that order asks you to repair the tank to 72%, and the potential money is $81,000. Let me tell you, the potential money is just the money you are going to get in no matter which state. Well, at least 89% assembly and 72% repair, of course. Well, if you meet these targets, then you are going to get this full amount. That means that if you do repair or restore the tank to 100%, you are not going to get more than 81,000. And that doesn't seem right, in a way. In another way, it's also not asked of you to do it completely, so which is not asked, you should do for free. You can think like that as well. It's not asked, so yeah, you're basically doing it for free as a bonus to keep your customers happy or something. It's Talking of keeping your customers happy, that is maybe also a mechanic they can add to the game in the future. A customer happy mechanic. I know games I'm playing right now like Drug Dealer Simulator, and in that game you have a customer happy mechanic. And the happier the customers are, the more they are going to come back and ask you for more. But of course, that is not a prior thing. You see, changing positions really gives you a better look on what still needs to get repaired. And this is a bug I already told the developers. I hope they picked that up already. So they changed the sound of the blaster, the sand blaster, and the paint gun. But now when you use those tools, the sound of your footsteps is gone. Until you drop the tool, and then you have the sound back. And you will have the sound still. Oh no. Oh no, the sound now is just gone if you take a tool. The moment you put a tool into your hands, there is no footsteps anymore. Yeah, okay, that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay, get inside. No, not the commander. That's in the turret, the driver. Yeah. So, tool in hand is equal to no footstep sounds. Appa. Of course we are missing out on parts which we are not sandblasting. Like in here there is the driver's shaft. I don't think I'm doing anything with it without taking the tank apart. But then again, we only have to take this tank apart for... we only have to repair this tank for 72%, so it doesn't really matter that we are missing some parts. I'm going to put the engine here. Actually, I don't really need to repair these parts. Take them off and repair them. But hey, tank without a proper working engine is not going to roll out, right? Let's put... Of course, this is again something that is not really... These are hoses. Hoses you have to buy new, yeah? But with this system, you can just outsource the repairs, which is going to be cheaper than buying them new. This is something that's in the game and is not 100% correct. Right, it's time to primer the turret. First turret. Like I said earlier, for those who just tuned in, I'm doing this tank the fast way. This is really the fast way. Not taking the tank apart and trying to do as much as possible this way. Which is absolutely not logic in real life, of course. Now we jump to the tank. But this is definitely the fast way. I play the game a bit like this. When it's an order, so for a customer, I do it the fast way. When it's a tank that is mine, then I do it the slow way and I take the tank completely apart. I don't know. How do you guys play the game? Same way, or do you never disassemble the tank? Or yeah, how do you guys play the tank? Play the game. Sorry. Play the game. Yeah, hello there. Indeed. Let's keep the chat in English so we can properly communicate with each other. Welcome to the stream, by the way. So now we are putting everything in a primer coating. Hoppa! Whoa! Are you impressed? But once again, this is really the fast way. Actually, For me, they could change that and take that out of the game, that it's even possible to repair or restore a tank without taking any part of it, except for the replaceables then. But even the replaceables, that system is not 100% because you can just outsource them and restore them anyway or repair them anyway by outsourcing. Replaceable only should be, in most cases, like hoses and filters, and that shouldn't be repairable. That should be just buy a new part, period. But for now, you can work around that and you can make it cheaper by outsourcing it. Okay, this is done. Now we go to the inside of the tank itself. As you can see, we missed a couple of parts. Now that we are here, oh, there are still parts on top which are not painted. A lot of people ask me as well, how the hell are you always jumping correctly on the tank instead of falling between the tank and the staircase over there? Well, first jump and then press forward. If you jump first and then press forward, of course in a fast way, shortly after each other I mean, but then you are not going to fall in between the staircase and the tank. If you press forward first and then jump, then this happens. You have to jump first and then press forward. Damn it. Doesn't want to do that. We did take some stuff out here, the replaceables only. Those need to be replayed. Okay, bye again. Thanks for passing by. Oh dearie, how many are there on Steam? You have to put those replaceables back, otherwise you're not going to have a 100%, not 100%, but otherwise you're, just a sec. When you go to the order, you need to have that assembly of 89% again, or 87% for that matter. But everything that was on the tank needs to be there again when you give the tank back to the customer. So the replaceable only parts need to be there Remember, behind us there was this, the locker. And we can only put that in when the turret is standing. Have that? No. We can only put it in when the turret is standing on the turret stand. Think when we put everything back now. Oh no. Still have to put those parts back which were originally on the engine. That was this hose and one other hose. But this is just plain wrong. I'm going to give them half an engine. You can see that there is still this part. The generator is missing. But it wasn't there in the first place, so I'm not going to put it back there. Just going to put this engine back in the tank like it was. And I'm going to put the turret back on the tank just like it was. And now I'm going to check my order. If I already meet the requirements. And obviously, nope. There is something that is not the... Oh yeah. The replaceables. The replaceables. The jack was on here originally. The extinguisher was on here originally. And the rope. I like to call it a tow cable and not a rope. And I think that we now meet the tank repairs status. Let's see. Let's check it again. You see? They ask of us 87% repair. They ask of us 72% repair. And I did 87%. And they ask of us 89% assembly, but the tank was already assembled for 89%. And we meet that, so we can just finish the order with a tank that is half not finished. Yep. Okay, let's see. A lot of repairs I can do here. Repair contract offer. Okay. These are all things that I was trying something out, so I cancelled a lot of contracts just for checking out things, because now we have here the cancels. These are all the cancels. Oh no, I don't think that this system is very intuitive. I mean, normally you are at all contracts, yeah? And when you do contract like here, the green ones, I just click the X at the end just to remove it. It's done, it's removed. But then you don't have an overview in this tab, finished contract. Because if you remove them here, they are also removed here. And now I'm trying to use the system without deleting here the emails, but I don't know. All the cancelled ones should be removed. These are all cancelled ones. I was just trying to check something. If you cancel contracts, how long it takes before you get an excavation? Well, if you keep cancelling contracts, apparently you don't get an excavation. An extraction. Alright. So what do we have? Available contracts for repairs. This is a Sherman. Well, accept the order. The Sherman is now going to be on pit 2 normally. Here we go, the Sherman. I have an 80% assembly, I have an 11% repair. And what is the question? What do they want us to do? Organizer. They ask us an 81 assembly, so they don't ask us to fully restore the tank, first of all. All the parts that are on there is enough to meet the requirement of 81% assembly, but they ask us a 41% repair and we only have an 11%. Let me tell you, we are going to de-rust the tank and probably we will be already there. First of all, let's take out the engine and let's take the turret off. I always do that, it works easier. Then we are going to de-rust everything. That is replaceable only. Well, we are not even going to replace it. We are just going to keep it as it is. Let's de-rust as much as possible. Bim bidi bim. If you're watching on Steam right now, hey Lick, hello there, welcome to the stream. If you're watching on Steam, on the Steam page, and you like what you see and you want to see more of that, and videos about it, about the game, and about how you can do things, please consider going to my YouTube channel. The link is on the screen in the bottom left corner. And on my channel you find more about Tank Mechanic Simulator. And that is also my official streaming channel. So like I said earlier, repairs, so orders for other people, I like to do like this, the fast way. Is this the right way? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Normally to repair a tank, you disassemble the tank. To restore a tank, you disassemble the tank completely. Bit by bit, part by part, bolt by bolt. Although there are a lot of tanks which you can disassemble without even touching a bolt. That's another thing that could be better. But I want to do these repairs fast until we get an excavation order, and that is going to be a tank for ourselves, and that is going to be a tank that I'm going to strip completely and do everything or as much as possible myself. Let's go to the inside. That is replaceable only. I don't care because it's an order, so leave it there. Okay, we are going to the inside of the turret. The turret basket, the escape hatch, the gun breech, the gun, some parts on the inside. Let's move to the gunner's position. And let's move to the loader's position. And let's move outside. I think we've done the muzzle. I think we have everything. think we have everything covered. Alright, how far are we? 26%. And we needed 31%, right? Let's have a double check. We need a 41%. We are at 26 now. Let's sandblast the damn thing. Fristy suspension. If it only went that fast in real life, right? If it was only that easy to restore tanks, we would all be restoring tanks. Don't forget, you don't get rich with restoring tanks for yourself, of course. Look at the Bovington Museum in England, which is, I think, one of the biggest tank museums around in the world. But even them are working with a lot of donations. Let's go to the inside again, driver's side. So in one tank the cases are replaceable only, in another tank the cases are repairable. That is also something I've seen lately. Alrighty. Let's go outside the tank. And we are now at, let's have a look, and I forgot the muzzle again. And let's have a look where we stand. You see? It's both green. We need 41% repair, I have 52. We need 81% assembly, we have 81, so you can just finish the order. Even so, the tank looks like shit. It is just sandblasted from the inside and the outside. And there are still rusty parts on it. The engine doesn't look very healthy. But we are going to put everything back together. There we go. And we can just finish the order. And whether you do more on this tank or not, you're only going to get $15,000. Finish the order. Hoppa. Let's go to the mailbox. Let's do another repair or info about a tank. We can go outside for an excavation. Let's do the head, ladies and gents. There is a tank ready to be extracted. Are you interested? Sincerely, Fred. Yes, I'm interested. Accept the offer. And we are going to the organizer, and we are going to head out, start extraction. If you already leveled up everything, upgraded everything in the upgrade panel, you can choose whether you go out there with your Jeep, off-road vehicle, or you take your quad. I like the quad. Or, yeah, I like the quad. Let's do this one with the quad. There we go, we are going outside. I don't know how long it takes for you guys, but for me it takes quite some time for the game to load. And when I look at the Discord, I hear people talking about it as well, that it takes quite some time. Alright, I already see it now. The tank is going to be within that area there, the fence. You can see it on the mini-map in the upper right corner. To double check, you can go to the tablet. And you see here is the circle. We are standing here, so we have to go inside that fenced area, hopefully, and the tank will be here somewhere, I think. A lot of people forget about this, but you can just swipe the map here. You just left click, left mouse button, click, keep it pressed in, and drag the map, because sometimes you only see this and then they think, hey, I only see half a circle, and now just drag the map. There you go. So we have to find a tank within this area. First of all, I'm going to use the drone. I already have a complete upgraded panel, so I have everything maxed out. Max museum, max workshop, max tools, max everything. Everything is maxed out. I'm using my drone to look where the tank is within the search area. Tank is not in the middle, or at least not on this row. Alrighty. And it will be on this row probably. Boom! It's going to say. Whoa! Woo! That is one big spot. That is one big spot, isn't it? What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the drone back over here. It is one huge spot, so we do know that there is going to be a tank there. So what I'm going to do now is I go back to satellite view, I go to dig, and I just click that area. Left mouse button, and then it's going to ask you if you want to do the extraction, the excavation, and you accept. It will cost us 2,000 bucks. Hoppa! Excavation results. We have found something. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. So now we are going to have a look in that area. And look at that, we found ourselves a KV2, ladies and gents. A KV2. Then we take the pressure washer and we're going to clean the tank a bit. You do need to clean the tank to be able to put it on a truck. If the tank is too filthy, you will not be able to put the tank on the truck. But do you need to do it manually with this pressure washer? No, you can just go to the menu and here, where is it? Where is it? Reset tools. You can ask tank on trailer. No, because it's not, you see, cannot extract tank. The tank is not clean. Current state 5%. Required state 30%. Close. Well, I click again. Or do I have to click like this? Hey, that is strange. There was an option previously to just clean the tank, to let it clean, and then you had to pay $500. So I don't understand what's going wrong now. Or maybe that is something I can do with the tablet. Let's have a look. No, not with the tablet. Okay, this is weird. This is weird. Last time there was an option to just go to that radial menu and let people clean. Oh, I found it. So you need the pressure washer in your hands. You aim at the tank, you go to the radial menu, and now here you can order a tank cleaning crew. But that is going to cost you $500. So you can clean the tank like this, or you can clean the tank manually. And you can do as crazy as you want. You can even open the hatches and start spraying inside and clean even more of the tank. Thing is, we only needed a certain percentage and we already are over it. So what we can do, just go to the radial menu and put the tank on the trailer. When the tank is proper enough, clean enough, the tank is going to be on the trailer. I'm walking back to the trailer now just to show you guys. You don't have to do that. You can just now go to the menu and click on back to workshop and your tank is going to be in the workshop. Now I just want to show you. The tank is on the truck. There we go. Just going to take a screenshot for myself. Uppa. And now we are going back to the workshop. Tank state 10%. Extracted, money spent $3,000. So it was $2,000 to excavate it and $1,000 to bring it to your workshop. So we've already spent $3,000 on this tank and nothing happened yet. We found it and brought it to our workshop. As you can see, the loading is like taking like forever. I don't know why that is. It's the only game I have that with. Okay, and the tank is over here. It's a KV2. So pressing P. Why can't I press P? Okay, you have to be close enough. It's a KV2. The tank overall repair status is 12%, which is pretty bad. Tank overall assembly is 91%, and that is a big surprise. Your tattoo is so cool. Oh, which tattoo are you? Oh, this one. This one? Yeah, it's a bit of everything. It's my daughter's names on the inside of my arms, and then the lower sleeve here is Gimli and Gollum, and on the back side the wizard Gandalf, all of Lord of the Rings, of course. But thank you. Alright, so we have that. This is surprising, 91%. This is really surprising. This is a tank that is preserved pretty well underneath the ground. Nice, really nice. So there are not going to be lots of missing parts either. If we check that again, the missing parts, let's have a look. A side mudguard, a side armor plate, a toolbox, a toe, top toe rope. Well, rope is not a good word. It's a cable, top toe cable. Then commander hatch, vent cover, road wheel. Only one road wheel missing and a buffer. That is just fantastic, mate. The engine is 100% complete. Unbelievable. The fuel system is 100% complete. This is unbelievable. I don't think I've ever excavated a tank that is this complete. Really. And then most parts which are missing are tracks. So, okay, let's do it the way we should do it. So, front track, 1. Then track belt, 1. Track belt is 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4, and the rear track, 1. That for the tracks. Let me see, gearbox, we have everything. Alright, fuel system is complete. The engine is complete, believe it or not. We need a buffer. So we need a buffer. And a road wheel. That is for the wheels. Oh. Wheels. The other one was, what was that? Tracks, of course. Oh, there we go. Buffer. Road wheel. Then we need a vent cover. I'm writing everything down because we don't have that list system yet I talked about. Commander hatch. If they now would give us the opportunity the mechanism that when we are in the tank analysis window and we click on what's missing, or right click on what's missing, because if I click now, we are going to get guided to that part to look at it with the left mouse button. But the right mouse button could be adding it to a shopping list. And for now, I have to do the shopping list on a piece of paper, of course. So vent cover and commander hatch is for the turret. And what else do we need? A tow cable, a toolbox, side armor plate, side mudguard, and that's it. Alright, that's good. What you can do now is, that's the hole. What you can do now to speed up things is just clicking on this button, buy missing parts. Then the system is going to buy every part that is not on the tank. I don't want to do that. Hey, Drews Black, hello there buddy, welcome to the stream mate. How you doing today? What I'm going to show you now is how you can craft your own parts instead of buying all the missing parts. Alright, first things first, we are going to put the turret on the turret stand, which is over there, and we're going to put the engine on the engine stand, which is over there. That's always the first thing I do. And now I'm missing a very big mechanism in the game which is not there, and that is that you can take the tank completely apart and then go to the crafting table, crafting panel, but this could also be a repair table. So I would call this repair slash crafting panel. And it would be very nice that I can just take this whole tank, turret, engine, everything apart and go to my table and work on those parts at my table. Sandblasting them, derusting them, sandblasting them, putting in primer and putting in paint. It would be nice that we can do that with every single piece. What's going to happen now, I want to take it all the way. It's a tank for my museum. I want to take it all the way. So that means that I would take this tank completely apart. But the moment you take it apart, you can't do anything anymore with the parts you took off. You can't derust those parts. That is not possible. And that is, I think, the biggest mechanism that is missing in the game right now. So if you want to repair or restore every single part, there's only one way to do that, and that is leaving them on the freaking tank. But that is not what I want to do. I want to take everything apart, so that is exactly what we are going to do, starting with the engine. And you will see in a bit, there's only one way then to restore everything, and that is outsourcing everything, unfortunately. But this way, by taking everything apart, you really learn in big lines how a tank is put together. And remember, at the start of the stream, I talked about the upcoming new things for the game, and when we look at this engine, you can see that it's poorly done, right? we have to be honest, it's poorly done. Like everything that is still remaining of the engine then is going to be like one block of metal. But the developers are working on more detailed engines, or at least they are now working on one detailed engine for a new tank that is going to come to the game. So I'm first going to take this engine completely apart, and then we are going to look at the difference between this engine and what is yet to come. So as you can see, this is just one block of metal. That's it. There's no detail in this engine whatsoever. But we already know that the developers are working on this. This is how the engines are going to look like. You can see that there are all the pistons here, moving parts, so they are really going to create engines in the future which are going to look like this. This is only half an engine, but they are going to look like this rather than that. It's a big difference, isn't it? This or that? Which engine do you prefer? This or that? Alright. I'm happy they are working on more detailed engines, to be honest. Okay, taking everything further apart. Let's start with from top to bottom as much as possible, of course. The MG front armor plate, we can only take that apart if we get rid of the front headlight, of course, and now we can get rid of the front plate. Another unfortunate thing is that I'm just taking this tank apart without loosening any screw. I don't have to do anything with screws or bolts. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully we are going to get in the future a difficulty mechanism or something like that, which will make it able for the players to choose if they want an easy assembly and disassembly like this, or a more difficult one, a more advanced one, where we really have to unscrew every single bolt on a tank. That would be incredible. Speaking of which, we have bolts. Yay! I have to unscrew 2 bolts. Yippee-yay! And more bolts. At least they didn't take everything out of the game. Let's do it for the other side as well before I go on with this side. Let's undo the tank of the mud guards. Thing now is that I've made my my shopping list, or at least the list to craft all the parts on the crafting bench, but I'm afraid that I'm going to craft the wrong parts. Like, this is called a mudguard, but there are mudguards of different types: long, short, only the front part. And I'm afraid that when there are more than one type of a certain part, that I'm going to craft the wrong parts. We will see. We will see. So we are going to undo the tank of the tracks. Now the other side. Hey Caesar, hello there, welcome, welcome. This game is Tank Mechanic Simulator, buddy. By 7 Minsk, hello there, welcome to the stream. But may I ask to keep the chat in English, please? The chat has to be in English, thank you very much. And Caesar, this is Tank Mechanic Simulator, buddy. Repairing, restoring tanks from the World War II era. So, once again, people, do I need to do this? Taking the tank completely apart? No, I showed you earlier that you don't really have to do that. X, keep the chat in English, please. That's like last warning. It's or in English or nothing. I'm sorry. There is no way to moderate something if everybody's going to write in their own language. So I told you earlier, there are two ways of restoring tanks or repairing tanks, for that matter, and that's the fast way and the long way. And earlier I did the repair for a customer, the fast way, and this is now a full restoration, which I'm going to do the long way. It's going to take quite some time to finish this. And we have some bolts. Tension mechanism. So I'm just taking everything apart, but if you want to learn how tanks are built in big lines, of course, then this game gives you a nice overview of that. The tensioner that I just removed is for when the tracks are put on. You can put a certain tension on those tracks. Some tanks have their tracks really loose lying on the wheels, and other tanks need more tension on the tracks. So that was that tension arm. It's a mechanism which makes it able for you to put more tension on the completely installed tracks. I know, just I am saying to the other Chinese people. Yeah, well, to all the Chinese people, please keep it in English. Hey, Boromir, Boromir, you would fit on my arm, mate, with all the Lord of the Rings stuff. Boromir, you look like Crowbar member. And what is it? How does a Crowbar member look like? Abba. Okay, Crowbar. Metal band. I didn't know. I don't know them. I will have to look up some music of them, because I do like metal. Oh, damn it! I have it myself. Jump and forward. What is that? What do you mean, X? What is what? Or are you talking about the same? What is crowbar? So now we are really taking everything apart. Is it a gang? What is Crowbar member? Well, apparently Crowbar is an American metal band. And that is what Boromir is referring to. Sludge metal band from New Orleans. There you go. Never heard of them, but now you made me curious. I'm going to write that down, by the way. Crowbar. I'm going to look that up after my stream if I can find music of them. I do like metal, so... Torsion bars. Oh. Huh? Uh-oh. I'm going to get into a fight with my wife, Boromir. If I'm going to put metal music on, she's going to kill me. No more streams. Right, we've removed all the torsion bars. I think we pretty removed everything that is possible to remove. Let's see, let's go to the driver's position, which is in the center of the tank for this one. By the way, did you guys know that the KV-2 is categorized under artillery and not a normal tank? And that is because of this turret with this gun, a 152 mil. The gun breach we are going to do from the inside. I wonder if you like Trump. Well, this is a stream for Tank Mechanic Simulator, so let's not get all political in here. We don't do politics. Let's go to the inside of the turret. No. The inside of the turret. Commander hatch. The gun breech. a viewport below the seat. My choice is Pantera or Smith similar. Or something similar. Oh, Pantera, but that is a band I do know. But that is from, oh my goodness. When I listen to Pantera, that is like 25 years ago, something. 22. Pantera. That is what they should call music. Okay, we've done... I think I've dismantled everything I can dismantle. Yeah, no worries, X. No worries. Just putting it out there. I try to keep my streams non-political. Obviously, we have viewers from all over the world, and if we start doing politics, then a chat can quickly go sideways. And I try to prevent that. Alrighty. Pantera and Sepultura. Urmir. You know Sepultura. Alright, we've disassembled everything. The engine, the tank hull and the turret. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to the store, which is O. I can just press the O button. Thank you very much, developers, for giving me this shortcut. And we're going to put this on KV2. And normally, yeah, these are all the parts that we took off the tank, but really all of them. And the only way to repair these is, unfortunately, I can't go to the crafting bench with them. I can't do anything with them on the crafting bench, and that is a huge thing that is missing in this game. A huge thing. So the only thing you can do now is select all and outsource the repairs. And then you can ask them again to outsource them only sanding, or sanding and putting a primer on, or sanding, putting a primer on and painting. And as you can see now, the cost is changing. 508, 940, 1386. It is changing. It didn't change earlier for the Panzerkampf 3 aus J, so I have to forward that to the devs. We are going to outsource them and ask them to do the complete repair. Continue. There we go. Oh yeah, I love it so much, but only with Max. Yep, indeed. Indeed. Alright, while this is repairing, we can actually start derusting whatever we have left here from the engine, which seems like a block of metal. The hull, and I think this easily goes for the outside and inside. But let's check it anyways. Jump forward. Everything is derusted here. And here as well. You can double check and go inside. But I think we have everything covered. We do. Then we go to the turret and do the same. Normally, since this is one metal piece remaining, normally everything is done on the inside as well. But if you want to be completely sure, you go to the inside. I always choose the commander slot first, and you can look around and see if everything is defrosted, and it is. Next step is sandblasting. Normally everything on the outside is done automatically. Yes. Oh yeah, also this. Some people say, hey, this is not logic. You sandblast and you put the tank in a primer and in paint, and you're not even in the paint room. That is true. Oh, first jump and then pressing forward. That is exactly true, but that was also the first thing I said, like, way back. Actually, the paint room in this game is only having one function, and that is not sandblasting the tank and painting the tank, or putting it in primer and painting the tank. It is to customize your tank, to put camouflages on it or decals. That is the only reason why we have a paint room. Now we are going to put it in primer. Normally everything is done also on the inside. We are going to double check. The engine can't be painted. That is just sandblasting. The engine or the engine parts is just sandblasting, and that's it. We're going to put the turret in a primer. Normally the inside is done as well, but I'm going to double check. It's all done. Let's double check the inside of the tank. Driver's position. Everything is done. Then we can switch to paint, which is pressing the X button. Changes from primer to paint. We are getting color in our tank. Let's go to the turret again. Normally the outside is done as well. Why is this done, the outside and the inside at the same time? Because you have to see whatever we have left here. You have to see that as one piece, one chunk of metal. So everything is done. So the only thing that remains now is going to the crafting bench and craft ourselves the parts we don't have anymore. And then come back and put the tank together. Let's go to the crafting bench. I just hope that I have crafting parts enough. Shit. I only have 890, which is not a lot. Which is absolutely not a lot. What you can do to get extra parts is from other tanks, for instance. You can, but I will not have anything because I always outsource them. But sometimes from other parts, from other tanks, you have rusted stuff left. I mean, you have rusted stuff left, rusted parts, old parts. In my case, I only have new parts, apparently. Oh yeah, I do have the missing pictures here. Look at that. I do have missing pictures. Right, Alrighty. Strange. Do I have missing pictures on the tank that I'm working on right now? For this tank, I do have them all. I have all the pictures. Let's have a look at the Tiger. I don't know if I have parts for the Tiger. Only these two. Okay, but I am going to show something. Let's say that these are old parts. These are now condition 100%, but okay. Let's say these are old parts. You can select them, and then you can click recycle. And I get the cost of the operation is 20. It costs. So recycling costs you money. It cost me 20 bucks, and it would give me 6 crafting parts, which is not a lot, but okay. Boom. And now I have crafting parts extra. That is one way of getting crafting parts. So, recycling your old rusted parts. Another way of getting crafting parts is going to the yard, and now it will take some time to load. And I will show you on the yard how you can get your hands on crafting parts. First of all, I'm going to take a short break. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Stand by.
Alrighty, here we are again. Right, so I was going to show you guys how to get extra parts from the yard. As you can see, I already have completely restored tanks standing outside as well. There's a KV-1 over there. I have one tank over there, which is actually nicely done with the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Aus M. This one is a beauty. Although not in a camo that is typically German, absolutely not. I was playing a bit with this one. Alright, so on your yard you probably saw already that you have like heaps or piles of metal here. Trash it says, and when you left click you get crafting parts, you see? Every time you go outside you get crafting parts from those metal piles. I would suggest do that once in a while if you're playing the game simulator-ish, and with that I mean that you are trying to craft as many parts yourself instead of just buying them from the store. So in order to do that you need crafting parts. Well, then this system is a very nice way to get your hands on crafting parts. You go through every pile of metal and you get your crafting part. Oh look, still have a KV-2 standing here. The tanks that are standing here, the rusted tanks, are tanks I bought from my graveyard, my tank graveyard. I like to call it my tank graveyard. Which is behind these walls is my tank graveyard. There you go. I have 3 tanks now. Look, I have a Stag, tank destroyer Stag, I have a KV-1, and I have a Panzerkampfwagen 3, and you are able to buy them. You can just go to them, click, you go to the tank analysis window, or you just press P when you aim on the tank. There you go. And here at the bottom you can buy the tank if you still have an open slot. I don't have an open slot. Oh wait a minute, I do. I have an open slot in the paint room, right? So I should be able to buy this tank. No, there are no free tank slots available. Free a tank slot first. That is a pain in the ass. By the way, I'm lucky now that there are 3 tank racks here. Sometimes it's only 1, and it's completely random. So the moment you bought a tank, so you opened up a space here, next time you go outside you will see other tank racks here. But you can also just buy them and de-rust them and sell them then again, although you're not going to get a lot for a tank. The developers should rebuild their economy system in the game, to be frankly honest, because right now it costs a tremendous amount of money to buy blueprints, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to get your hands on a blueprint. And selling a tank is only for a couple of 10,000 instead of 100,000. But that doesn't seem fair, does it? What I'm going to show you now, building my own stuff on the crafting bench, you can only do that when you have the blueprints of the tanks for which you need to craft parts. I'm lucky. I already played a lot. I have all the blueprints. But a lot of people don't have the blueprints. Because the blueprints are just way too expensive. And they are like $400,000 for a blueprint. But that is ridiculous. Because when you completely restore a tank and you sell it, you get like $60,000. That's it. So, yeah. The whole game economy is not logic. It's not. Like, what else you can do when you have blueprints is, and you have a lot of money, you can buy a tank completely. You can buy a complete new tank if you have the blueprints. You can buy a complete finished tank, ready to drive, shoot, whatever. But you buy it for, I don't know, I wrote it down somewhere from last time, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't I? Yeah, here. I bought a tank for $275,000. That's the money I've spent to buy a tank. A complete new tank. And just to be curious, I thought, let's sell it immediately and let's see what I get for it. And I could only sell it for $51,720. So $275,000 to buy the tank and $51,000 to sell the tank. That's not even a third. Not even a quarter. It's like unbelievable, isn't it? And that is something that is absolutely not right. That is so not right. That is so not right. So you have to pay $270,000 to buy a tank, but you can only sell the same tank in the same state, never driven, never shoot it, just the same state, buying, immediately selling, 51,720. That doesn't sound right to me, to be honest. Alright, so back to the crafting bench. As you can see, I have the blueprints of all the tanks, so I will see all the parts ready to craft. But it's for the KV2. It's already on KV2. Okay, let's see. Tracks. Tracks. We need a front track. Front track check. We need a track belt 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just click 4 times with your left mouse button, by the way. Click, 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 click. And we need a rear track, only 1. Bam. Don't go to another tab here in order to select other things and then click the craft elements at the same time. That's not going to work. When I go to another thing now and I go back to the tracks, my selection is gone. So that is what the developers say with their update they are planning. Here they said we are going to add a shop cart. So at least in the shop it's going to work. I hope they are going to implement it as well for the crafting bench, that we can select stuff here and that we can just go to another tab and that selected stuff is in a shopping cart or crafting cart. Okay, so 114 and craft elements. It's going to cost me 15 pieces for this track, 15 for this, 15 for this, but we need 4 here, so that is going to be 60 pieces here. In total 90 pieces. Craft elements. Yes, there we go. We have our tracks. What else do we need? So the tracks, done. Wheels. We need a buffer. We need a buffer. One buffer. And I need one road wheel. But as you can see, road wheel. No, never mind. I didn't say anything. One road wheel, one buffer. Craft elements. Yes. Done. Then we're going to the turret. And we need a vent cover. A vent cover, which is this. And the commander hatch, which is this. And that's it. Craft elements. 16. Alrighty. And then we go for the hull. We need a tow cable. A toolbox. A side armor plate. And a side mud guard. And that should be it. Craft elements. Accept. There we go. Normally, I now crafted all the missing parts of the tank. So we can go out here. And when I go to the storage, not the store, but the storage of the KV2. Normally now I should, with all the parts that I outsourced, remember, they are all done now, all 100%. Normally I should have all the parts of the KV2 here, but really all of them, everything. So then there's only one thing that's left us to do, and that is putting the tank back together. I wonder what that is. It's like, as you can see, the developers try to simulate the dust in the air. Do you see? All those white particles. I think that could be one of the things that makes the loading go really long. That makes the loading long. The algorithm for the particles in the air. And then once in a while one of those particles comes pretty close and it's like a small cloud of, I don't know. Here. I thought that it was like smoke, like when it comes from out of the exhaust pipe, but now I see that it's actually dust particles. Does that add something to the game? It's more annoying than adding something to the game, I think. And maybe this is something that needs to be generated and constantly working. So maybe this has to do, or this is part of the problem that some people have. That the game, first of all, needs a really long time to load, just like for me. And second of all, when they have potato PCs, that their PC is blocking, crashing, whatever. I would suggest to get rid of that. That's just me. I can only suggest it. Dust particles. I don't know why that is in the game. It doesn't give any... I don't even think it looks like dust. It's like it's snowing in the workshop. Okay, let's get back to the essence and put the tank back together. I like to start with the engine. Putting it back together. The front carburetor. Injection pumps. Fuel filter. Once again, this is how a tank is built in big lines. This is totally not how an engine looks like. But in big lines, you get to see and you get to learn how a tank is built. I am happy though that the developers are working on more detailed engines, because personally I also don't like the look of the center of the engine being just a metal shaped block. You don't see pistons, you don't see any of those details actually. The exhaust manifolds. Now the starter. And we go to the other side. Motor shield. The dipstick. That is something I normally, most of the time, just forget. The dipstick. And I think that's it. For the engine, I mean. Just for the engine. I think this is it. Yeah. This is it. So next step is going to the inside of the tank at the back to make everything ready for the engine to get installed. So first things first, the gearbox cover. There we go. We have fuel tanks. The air filter. And the radiator for one side. And then we have exactly the same on the other side. So we have the fuel tanks first. And we have the air filter. And the radiator. And then we can put the generator on here. And at the bottom, not forgetting about the transmission shaft. There we go. Fans. And another part of the transmission shaft. And now this back piece is ready for the engine to get installed. What I still like to do in this view is adding the torsion bars. The torsion bars is one of the most difficult things to assemble again, because you can't assemble them, or you almost can't assemble them without going into that transparent view. So that is something I like to install in this view still. There we go. And now we are ready to put the engine back in here. So engine back in. Hoppa. The complete engine is in here. I think we've done it all. Now we are going to put the engine cover on and see that we can do that without tightening any bolts. The exhaust pipes. Radiator panels. And the big engine hatch. And there we go. Done. Now, the inside. Are we going to do the inside first? Driver position. We need the driver's seat, of course, with the levers. Are there no pedals? Seriously? Is that it? There is no radio man here? Radio officer? Loader is in the turret. Second loader is also in the turret. Gunner is in the turret, and the commander is in the turret. Everything is in the turret, except for the driver. Load the seat. The rear hatch, I guess we can already put that on there. The gunner seat. And that's it from here, I guess. Oh, I'm going to put a mantlet there so that we can install the gun breech and the barrel itself. There we go. Let's have a look from the other side. I thought so. A viewport. And that's going to be it, right? All other things are from the outside. Oh, sorry. Viewer. And another one. Commander's hatch. Another viewport. Optic cover. And some names are not really exactly what it is, but some names are not that well chosen. But it's also difficult to give every part of a tank a certain name, actually. There we go. Oh, the turrets. And there was a gun in there at first, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is. You have to be in the disassembly mode, which is not really logic because we are assembling the tank again. But when you are in the disassemble mode and you left click on that gun port, you do get the DT, you do get the gun, you left click it and it's in there. And then you switch back to assembly mode. It's not really logic, but that's the only way to get that gun back in that turret. Original state. Which makes me wonder now if I did that in the KV2, which is standing in my museum already. There we go. Oh, thank you, dearie. For those who can't bear watching somebody playing a game and in the meanwhile having his lunch, then you will have to look away, because I'm going to have my lunch. And for everybody else who's watching and who is busy with their meal, their lunch, have a nice lunch. Optic cover. driving hatch, and here we have another MG, which is in there. That one is came with the MG cover. There we go. You can easily play with the view when you are installing things. Like first you left click on rear mudguard, bam. Then you right click and keep it pressed in to install. Up. But then you can go left, right, up, down. You can even zoom in, zoom out with your mouse wheel. So if you want to have another look on things, just play a little bit with the directions of the camera. As you can see what I'm doing. I click on the next part, right click now, select it, bum, bolts here. So I do like this, I zoom in and I have another view on what I'm doing. Do you need to do that? No, of course not. That makes it all a little bit more real. See? Makes it all a bit more. That's all. I just want to show you that the possibility is there to play with your camera. There we go. This side is done. Well, not the tracks and the wheels and the tracks, but from the hull. So we are going to do that here as well. The rear mudguard. There we go. That's all done. Starting to look like a tank again. Also, by the way, there are people who don't get the same screen as I do, so when I now click to install this roll wheel support, for which I have several of them in my storage, I get this screen, and I can choose which part I want to install. Now there are people who are having issues, who crafted or bought new parts, but the old parts are still in the storage as well. They don't get this screen, and every time they want to assemble that part, they get the rusty part instead of the painted part. Now you can change that in the settings of the game. You can go to the settings and you go to game, and then you have to activate the use assembly menu. By default that is set on off. You have to put that on. This is really a a nice tip I can give you guys. Not everybody knows it. The last stream somebody said, "Oh, thank you very much for explaining that. I was always having issues with that. It was always the rusted, broken part that got installed instead of the new part." Well, this is the way to change this. Use assembly menu, and you have to put that on. And then you will get a menu of all the possible parts for that particular place on the tank you want to install, and you can choose. I don't know why the developers didn't put that as default. I have absolutely no clue what the reason behind that is. Maybe they implemented that feature later and the default is still set on off. Actually, I don't know, it shouldn't be a thing. It should just be this. Boom. You get the menu and that's it. But apparently, they made it a thing by giving people the option to activate or deactivate it. Hey Kurt. Hello there, buddy. How are you doing? Long time no see. Hey Phantom on Steam. Welcome, buddy. May I ask to keep the chat in English, please? Have you tried Dirt Rally 2.0? Yes I did, and I have to be honest, it's not really something for me. To be frankly honest, it's a bit too realistic and therefore too difficult. The only thing I do there is crashing my car. Also, I only tried it for an hour or so, I think. If it is an hour, I don't know. Oh, it's way too difficult. And yeah, in some games I am talking about I want a challenge. Like in this game, I would like the challenge to have every single bolt on the tank for the parts that are in the game, and that I have to unscrew and tighten every bolt. So then I'm talking about a challenge. But in that game, Rally 2.0, no, it's a challenge to keep your car on the track, and it's a little bit too much of a challenge, to be honest. It's not really my thing. Then I love games like Grit a bit better. That is arcade-ish racing. But the game looks awesome, of course. The game looks awesome. Maybe I have to give it some more time. But then again, I played the game Grid 2019, the latest game, and I'm having tons of fun in that game. But then I switched to Rally 2.0 and I'm having no fun at all. Go to Epic Games and get Sherlock Holmes and you for free, my gift to you. I already have that, mate. I already have Sherlock Holmes and everything. I do claim every free game on Epic Store, so every week that is 2 new games. I already have all the games they gave for free. I do that every single week. I'm even playing Sherlock Holmes, and since you're on my YouTube channel now, scroll down and you will find my streams for Sherlock Holmes. Every time I play the game, I'm streaming it, as it's not really a walkthrough because it's just my stream footage, but still. I was waiting for that Sherlock Holmes game, mate. I like to solve riddles and puzzles, and certainly Sherlock Holmes style. What is a best so far from, well, the thing is, the games aren't from Epic. A lot of people say, oh, it's a game from Epic. No, Epic is, or Epic, I'm sorry, got to be just a gaming platform, just like Steam. Yes, Fortnite was made by them, but then there is like another free-to-play game, Dauntless, and everybody is always saying Epic here, Epic there, Epic sucks, and this and that. Epic is not the creator of all those games. They are just offering the games, just like Steam does. With that difference that Steam doesn't have their own development studio, I think. I'm not even sure. And Epic does. So what is the best game on Epic? That is something you can't possibly answer, because all the games on there are just games from other developers. I don't know if Epic itself has more games than just Fortnite. Or do you mean, what is the best free-to-play game we got on Epic? I don't have that game. But you're talking about Red Dead Redemption, right? The country game. I don't have it. I would like to have it, but something is telling me, well, I don't want to spend the money on it right now. Well, I've seen a lot of videos already. The gameplay looks terrific. The whole setting actually looks awesome. Country, I really like the cowboy-ish things. Star Wars is not my thing. I'm absolutely no Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever fan. And that goes for the movies as for the games. I'm sorry. Couldn't tell anything about that. There is a game I'm looking forward to, and hopefully I will have the chance to put the money together for that game, because it's going to be ridiculous expensive. And I mean 60 euros for a game, I call that expensive, yes. But I am looking forward for Cyberpunk 2077. I am really looking forward for that game. Did we put this tank completely together now, while I'm talking? Shadow of War. What game is that? I would have to look it up, mate. No idea what game that is. And we did it. We did put the tank completely together, 100% on everything. 100% on everything. So the only thing that rests us now is taking the tank out for a spin, testing it, and shooting it. That's what I'm going to do now. What we first need to do is click on tank status. Test drive options. And before we start the engine, we have to put fluids in the engine, right? So we are going to put fuel in both fuel tanks. Left click, mouse button, keep pressing until on the right side of the screen you see that the fuel is filled 100%. Switch container. You have 2 fuel tanks. Then click your mouse wheel to go 1 step back in the menu. Now come on. So we did fuel, now we are going for oil. Let's put oil in there. Up. Mouse wheel, 1 step back. And then we have to put coolant in there. And we have 2. That's in the radiator, of course. Coolant in the radiator. So 1, right mouse button to switch to the other one. Let's fill it up. There we go. That's all done. So now we can just get out of here. Or we can take the tank out for a spin. So we go back to tank analysis again. We go to test drive. And now we can take it out for a test drive. World of Warships. You are asking the wrong person. Well, I can say that World of Warships, World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, the 3 games of wargaming. Well, they have more games, but the 3 in the same genre. Those are good games. And I played them for many years. But I've stopped playing them because wargaming and their games, World of Warships, World of Tanks and World of Warplanes, they made their games, or they made their games, because now they are just pay to win. Pay to win, pay to progress. You have to put money in the games to progress in the first place, and you have to put money in the game to be as strong as your enemy. Otherwise, there is no fun in the game. So graphics-wise, gameplay-wise, tank mechanics, World of Warships, World of Tanks, and World of Warplanes are wonderful games. They are just wonderful to play, but they are at the same time very pricey and expensive. And I played them for years, like I said, but I also, years later, after 4 or 5 years, I made a decision to just stop playing their games. It was ridiculous which amount of money went in that game. World of Tanks it was then. World of Warships I only played for free. And grinding for free in those kind of games, wargaming games, is not something that works very well. Okay, starting the engine. Okay. Hey Kurt on YouTube. See you back later, buddy. Thanks for hopping by. I really have to get some loads in as well on ETS2. I upgraded it to the public beta 1.37, so now I can roll my windows down in ETS2 as well, which I already could do in ATS. Alrighty, Silux, ever played War Thunder? What are your thoughts? Yes, I did play War Thunder, and it is good. Tank game, plane game, ship game. It is actually like Wargaming has 3 different games: World of Tanks, World of Warships, World of Warplanes, and War Thunder put those 3 things in one game. I'm really interested in playing tanks, and in War Thunder I did play it. I like to play it. I only played it for free. I didn't put any money in it. I only got to like the 4th, a tier 4 vehicle, I think. A really early game. But it is a nice game to play. War Thunder is one of the better tank games as well. But I also like Armored Warfare, and people are going to say, yeah, Armored Warfare is not a good game. Well, I think it is. But the PvE version of the game. And lately, the last couple of years, I really tumbled more into the co-op PvE games than in the PvP games. And War Thunder is and stays a PvP game. War Thunder is a very good game. The graphics are good as well. How the tanks are built, how a tank looks like. Well, War Thunder is one of the games where you can actually learn something about the tank and the history, and even more than in World of Tanks, to be honest. So I would put War Thunder above Armored Warfare, above World of Tanks, but I never got into it that much. Like I said, tier 4 is my maximum vehicle there, so... but I do like to play the super realistic game mode, where you don't have all the things on your screen which helps you to find the enemy and such. I do like to play it realistically, that you have to use the binocs to find enemies and then just try to hit them and fire on them without any aids. That is what makes War Thunder a really good game. But I also have a feeling that if you want to progress somewhere in War Thunder, pay to win, I don't know. I didn't play it that long to know if the game is pay to win, yes or no. But I do think, I did have the feeling that a premium account would get you much further than just playing it for free. Armored Warfare is great on PvE. I really would like to see a good PvE World War II game. Yeah, well, I always said that if World of Tanks, of Wargaming, if they would think of coming with a PvE game like Armored Warfare has, then we have the game I would play, really. Then I would go back to World of Tanks and play co-op PvE. I love to play Armored Warfare, co-op PvE, and sometimes also PvP, but then in the form of the global operations. That is still funny. But if only War Thunder or World of Tanks would come with a co-op PvE game, Second World War era, well, that would be sublime, wouldn't it? Pay to progress after like tier 4, yes, it takes so damn long. Well, like I said, I had the feeling that I wasn't progressing anymore from tier 4 and up. So, and I quit playing it again. Yeah, I don't know, because then at that moment I didn't have people who played it that much, and I like to play together with people, not alone. First of all, and second of all, the last couple of years are really tumbled more towards the side of PvE or co-op PvE than PvP. I'm always getting stressed out in PvP games, and To be honest, I can't really use that being stressed out for a game, you know? So then you have to make choices, you have to reflect a little bit and play what you are having fun with without stressing out. But it would indeed be marvelous that we would get a co-op PvE game. Actually the same as Armored Warfare, but then in War Thunder or World of Tanks. That would be awesome. I want to say something else about one of those games, and I lost it. Or was it about PvE and PvE? Yeah, PvP, PvE. I really like the Division 2. That's something else, not tanks, but a first-person shooter. But I only like the Division 2 in the co-op PvE mode, or even alone, but PvE. When you go to those dark zones, I don't like it anymore because you have those rogue agents, which are PvP guys. So there are a lot of games I like graphics-wise and all, but because it's PvP, I'm signing off. And that is happening the last couple of years, the last 2-3 years. After I stopped playing World of Tanks, then it started to, so I played World of Tanks for 4 years from morning till evening, every single day, and I didn't play any other game. I really didn't play any other game, only World of Tanks for 4 years, and then I got so frustrated about it and about many things in the game, around the game, within the community, that first of all I had to quit for my own health, but second of all they really made their game back then pay to win. Simple. Pay to win. And back then I kind of made the decision to go for games which are more PvE. DZs are crap. Yeah, well, after the big update and the extra DLC we got, and I bought for New York, before that update, I could go to a DZ zone, and I never encountered a rogue agent. Never. People ask me, did you find rogue agents already? Did you do the PvP content in the dark zones? And I said no, because I never find somebody. And after the big update and the new DLC, when you go to a dark zone now, oh my goodness, mate. Woo! And I've learned that a build you make for PvE is absolutely not the same as the builds they make for PvP. I once got into a DZ 2 weeks ago, and that was the last time. Then I said, okay, no DZs for me. I went in, I had random people around me, they didn't do anything. They even walked with me together until I got the weapon or the device or whatever I had to take out of the DZ, you know, with the pickup point. So I went to a pickup point, I found my thing, I went to the pickup point, those guys were still helping me out, shooting NPCs, and the moment I activate the pickup point, they went rogue and they killed me in an instant. I was like, what the fuck, mate? So yeah, no DZs for me anymore. I dislike the PvE in Division 1, so I never bothered with... I never played the Division 1. I never played the Division 1. I do like the Tom Clancy games, and the Division 2 was the first Division I played, and I love it. I really love it. And certainly now with the latest update, they implemented the season pass, and I hope it's going to last. It's going to stay there. And finally, they are putting a season pass into a PvE game. And a game I love so much. I don't mind paying money on a 3 monthly basis, for instance, for a hunt pass, a season pass, a whatever you want to call it, like they do in a lot of games. And finally they added that to the Division as well, and I love it. It's only cosmetics, of course, but still, I love it. I love the fact that they've added it to a game I really like, and which I can play completely PvE. Yay! You should go back to D1, the Division 1. Well, more people told me that. go back to Division 1. Take the time to play the Division 1. But to be frankly honest, the Division 2 is there now, and we are getting new content every couple of weeks. There are the events now also since the latest update, and I'm playing so many games, and games I should play as well, like this one. The developers gave me the opportunity to stream their game on the official Steam store page, so that is a huge thing for me, at least. I love that I get the opportunity to do that. So these are games that I have to play once in a while, and I have to stream. The Division as well, because now we have the season pass, so you have to grind that to the end. I'm already there, level 100N, you only have to go to 100, but okay, that is a game I need to play. And I have a couple of games that are on a need to play basis that I hardly find the time to add more games to my list of currently playing games. But more people already told me that if you like the Division 2 that much, then you certainly have to play the Division 1 as well. So maybe one day. Who knows? Okay, so we've tested this tank on the track. The only thing we can still do now is test the tank on a shooting range, proving grounds. And here most of the time I'm having a bug. I just filled up the fuel, coolant and oil before we went for a test drive. You are not going to tell me that that is already all gone. And still, if I want to start the engine now, it's going to tell me to fill up at least one of the 3 fluids. You'll see. Obviously, this time it didn't. Oh shit. Thing has to drive, of course. Oh shit. I think I made a mistake. Oh no. The KV2 is yeah. Is the SU 152 in the game? No. No, that one is not in the game yet. Maybe. Wham! There are a lot of tanks that are asked to implement in the game. Hey Slayer, hello there mate. Please don't spam the chat like that. Or other people in the chat as well. Come on. The tank destroyer is SU-152 is not in the game yet. No. A lot of tanks are suggested, and the developers are currently making a roadmap of all the information that they gathered on their Discord and Steam forum of people suggesting different kind of things, but certainly a lot of new tanks to add. And apparently they are now working on another tank, which is still a mystery to me. Maybe I can try to get them to lift a tip of the veil a little bit, so I can use it in one of my streams. Who knows? Maybe they will tell me, but for now it's a secret, or at least nobody knows, or I think nobody knows, which tank they are working on. So they are working on more tanks to add to the game. And the suggested tanks are all in a list, and that list is huge. I can actually show you the list, just a sec. Give me a second. Give me a second. New tab. Go to my drive, please. Google Drive. Where is my new map? I made a new folder. Where is my folder? Oh, here. TMS suggestions. So, which tanks are asked already to put in the... Hey Gooby! Yeah, he's having a stroke, I think so. I think he's having a stroke. I think he was simulating my shooting with the gun. Alright, so this is a list of all tanks that were suggested from within the community. Well, it's a huge list, and one of the community members made an Excel file. I didn't make this. It's of one of the community members made this list to make it more easy to see which tanks are already suggested and which not. So let's have a look. For Germany, no, you are asking Russia. Russia, let's see, is that tank asked? It's the first tank, mate. No, you are asking for the SU-152. That is not the same as the ISU-152, is it? There was a difference, wasn't there? I'm trying to see the tanks in front of me from World of Tanks. I know the SU tanks are in there, and I know there are ISU tanks in there. So I'm not sure now if the ISU is the tank you proposed or you asked me. So for Germany we have the Tiger II, the Mouse, the Leopard 2A4, the A7V, the Goliath, the Panzer II, the VK4501P, Jagdtiger, the Wirbelwind, the E50 Berg tanks, Kugelpanzer, the Tiger H, the E75, they are even suggesting tanks which never existed. The SU-152 has the KV hull, the ISU has the IS hull. That's what I thought. Those are two different tanks. So the SU-152 is not suggested yet. People are suggesting the ISU-152, but not the SU-152. The IS-4 got suggested, IS-2, the BT family, the T-26, T-72, the IS-3, the M4A2 Loza, which is a capture tank. The BA-64B, the ISU 122, the Object 200. Well, you can see a lot of tanks. One important nation that is still missing in the game is the UK, the United Kingdom. So there are a lot of tanks asked to get implemented, but we don't have not even one tank yet for the UK. So I really hope that the new tank the developers are working on as we speak is going to be a UK tank. And then I'm thinking about Churchill, the Cromwell, or the Challenger, or the Centurion. One of those tanks. But really World War II, not the modern ones, of course. But adding the Churchill to the game, that would be a nice add-on. Indeed, as you say yourself. I don't think there are wheeled vehicles in here, except for the half-track we have. So we do have a half-track, but that's the only wheeled vehicle, and then again it's not just wheeled, it's a half-track. Half wheels, half-track. The German half-track, that is the only game we have. The only wheeled vehicle we have in the game right now. So as you can see, a lot of tanks got suggested already. If the developers want to add all those things, well, I think they have a couple of years to go to implement them all properly. The Matilda. Yeah, Rodi Ranga. The Matilda would be a very nice addition. Okay, well, we're going out of the shooting range here. Let's return. So this is my tank now at the shooting range. Can I go on foot over there? I want to take a picture. Yes. So we have our finished KV2. We are going back to the workshop. You can do lots of things on that shooting range. You can switch ammo as well. On the starting table at the shooting range there is a tablet. On that tablet you can reset all the targets. You can also do challenges. Challenges are things you can do on the shooting range, for which if you get the targets you get paid for it. You can earn some money with it. Rowdy, did I reply already? Yeah, the Matilda. The Matilda would be one. The Matilda and the Churchill. I think those should be the first two tanks for the UK nation in the game. Tank Mechanic Simulator. What do you think of the Steam Workshop that they said on the... I'm really stoked about it. I'm one of the people in their testing group for that, so I'm anxious to see the full development of that. And for the modders as well as for the community, it would be a nice thing that there is a workshop, and that as a player you can just add mods to the game with just one click on a button. And that is what the workshop in Steam is for every game. So I'm really looking forward to it, yes. Also for my simple mods, I have not the knowledge to make mods for tanks, like building my own tanks in whatever program they use for that. I have no knowledge in doing that. But I do like the light modding, like the posters, the flags, the museum stands, which are not explained tutorial, but I know how to do them. I like that light modding, and I would like it a lot that I can upload it with their own written program, and that people can just with one click have all the mods I've already made, the decals, the flags, the museum stands, etc, etc. It would be very nice to have that workshop. I'm stoked about it. I'm stoked about it. So our KV2 is completely done. Unfortunately, I can't put it in the museum because I don't have the places yet, and there is already a KV2 standing in the museum. But what I'm going to show you guys now is what the paint room over there is used for. That I'm going to show right now. So let's move the tank towards the paint room. And here we have our KV2 completely naked. Then you go to the paint room panel, and now you see that I'm having a lot more decals than what's originally in the game. And a lot more decals are going to come because my next stream for Tank Mechanics Simulator is going to be a, what I like to call, a light modding stream. So I'm going to show how you have to make decals, how you have to make flags, how you can change the museum stands. That is going to be the next Tank Mechanics Simulator stream on Steam and my own platform. My normal streaming platform is YouTube, for which you can find the link in the lower button of the screen. It's basically youtube.com/arrowsrealm. Then you will find my YouTube channel. I stream there simultaneously right now as well. So I'm talking with you guys on Steam and on YouTube. If you want to stay informed, be sure to follow here. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. That's my wife. Giving you guys the link to my Ko-fi page. So if you like what you see, if you want to support me a bit now or in the future, you can always do so by going to my Ko-fi page and considering donating me one or more coffees. Okay, KV2, what are we going to do? Let's put me on there. And something in my throat. This let's make this a ridiculous tank. To see what I mean in a bit. And now, camo. Let's first apply what we already have, And now we're going for camo. What are we going to put on there? A lot of camos that I've made myself as well. By the way, I will give you guys a link to the blind modded stuff I've already made. Boom, 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 boom. Let me go to my Discord. That's going to be better. Discord, Tank Mechanic Simulator, pinned messages, and I didn't pin it. Okay, well done, Arrow. Well done. Okay. Tank Mechanic Simulator Discord. Go to the modding section, modding, and go to the pin messages. And here we have all mods at one place. There we go. Copy. And this is what you guys need. Boom. This is a link towards one of my blog posts on coffee. And all my made mods, decals, flags, museum stands, they're all in there. And I update that particular blog posts frequently when I have new stuff. The only thing that is not added yet is the Girls and Panzer stuff, because I'm going to make it a whole package. I'm not going to put the Girls and Panzer posters in my poster mod. No, I'm going to make a separate Girls and Panzer mod pack and put all the Girls and Panzer stuff in there. So like I said, a lot of camouflages are made myself. The original ones as well, of course. Now let's make it a crazy tank. I have some crazy camos. Crazy colors then, actually. Well, this doesn't look bad, to be honest. Let's see the scaling. Not bad. And of course you can rotate everything, and you can do whatever you want with these camos. Making them bigger, smaller, completely black. Also an option, but then it's stupid that the wheels could not be painted, which I'm going to take a screenshot of. They did change, the developers changed something regarding the wheels, because there was a lot of criticism that the wheels were camouflaged as well. Sometimes the wheels were completely in that camouflage pattern, which wasn't looking good. But to be frankly honest, the way it is right now, it's even looking worse. So now the wheels are not painted at all with the tank. So you take a black tank, but you still have the green wheels, which doesn't look good, to be honest. So then there are people who suggested to make it so that we have a feature that we can select different parts of the vehicle to get painted, like the wheels, the turret, the gun, this, that, and painted separately. That would be a nice feature indeed. Oh, this is going to be the tank. Apply. There you go. My beauty. My KV2 with the green wheels. Looks like shit. Nah, this looks like shit. Come on. We're not going to do that. This was like not bad, to be honest. Like this. This is not bad, is it? I think I'm going to put this one in my museum. Let's move this one to my museum, mate. Move, museum, place number 1, thank you. And then my other one is going to come back, this one. For which I have a red star here. And I don't know why. Reset. It's gone. Okay. And we can just sell this tank. Boom, boom. Sell tank. You only get 51,248 for it, but okay. Sell, accept, and the tank is gone. I have too many tanks. That's why I'm selling tanks. Here, this one needs to go to the paint shop as well. Move, paint room. And I want to reset this one as well. Hoppa. The American. Let's go to decals. And let's make it American again. Let's just put a... There we go. I even think it's too big. Reset. Let's do it again. This is the place where it should be. Yeah. So that is our M10 tank destroyer. If I put that on there, then it's on my gun as well. Look, that is something that is not well done. It reflects on my gun, which is pretty stupid. So reset or undo. Gone now. It's not even there anymore. Okay, reset. Alright. So, ladies and gents, this was it for today, actually. We did a couple of jobs. Regular repair jobs, and also one excavation, one tank for me for the museum, but I already have it in my museum, so there we go. I hope you all enjoyed. I showed you again the fast way to repair tank and the long way to really restore a tank from scratch. Strip the whole tank and then build it up from scratch. I showed you the two ways to do it again, and I think I'm going to do that in every stream. Short way and long way. And like I said, the next stream for Tank Mechanic Simulator is going to be a Photoshop stream. Actually, you will see me making posters, decals, and what I'm working on right now is the Girls in Panzer museum stands. That is for next time. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any more questions about the game itself, write them down, and with the next Tank Mechanic Simulator stream you can ask them, and I will try to answer each and one of them properly, or as good as possible if I have the knowledge. Then I wish you all a good afternoon, and see you all next time. Later. Bye bye.
Transmission complete.